Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Wales of Wall Street. Hope you're doing fantastically well around the world. It's Friday. Guys, chucking this out there, do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and check out all the other videos that we have on the table. Loads of different topics, discussions and assets that we cover through. If there's any that we don't cover and you wish us to do so, do leave us some comments below in this video and we will get to those as soon as we can. This video today, guys, is about PROPY. This is one that I've been following and holding for some time now. Now, PROPY, for those that don't know, this is very heavily related to Web3 real estate aspects of blockchain and the real estate sector. Now, this is really interesting because this market, guys, is absolutely huge. I'm not suggesting that PROPY has a huge market share of this right now, but it certainly is growing towards that. Guys, depending on where you see, but statistically, majority of the statistics websites are suggesting between, this is crazy, 30 and 48 trillion, that's trillion dollars worth of real estate market value by 2031. Don't know why it's not 2030, but 2031 is the year that's across the statistic boards right now. This is huge. And even right now, it's massive, of course, as well. Around, I believe already that sort of 28 to 29 billion marks. So that if we get to those sort of like 48 trillion marks, wow, that is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So this market is of interest to me. Obviously, real estate, both domestically and commercially, has always been a huge gold mine, right? But one thing that's really excited me more recently is the blockchain application to this. And when we did the coverage of PROPY a while back, we sort of went into a bit of a deep dive about the project and how Web3 will work with real estate application in general. Now, if you haven't watched that, go and check out the intro video. I'll leave it at the end of this one, or you might even see it at the top of your screen right now. But first of all, let's go into a bit of detail about this because this is really interesting. Now, currently, the aspect of buying and selling homes is a relatively long process, mainly due to the fact of admin checks for things like money laundering and fraudulent activity and general actual ownership or identification, verification of this, right? So we know that blockchain is here right now with the ability to increase and enhance the efficiency of transactions, but also have a massive opportunity for improving the efficiency of verification and processing and all things like this. So when we come to actual real estate, and this is important to mention the wording NFT here. Now, a non-fungible token isn't just a piece of art, guys. An NFT can be applied to anything that's not a ratio of 1-to-1. So anything pretty much like if I give you $1, irrespective of the debt that's behind it, you get $1, right? But outside of that, anything with a value or a perceived value, whether that be based on your perception of what that value should be or what people perceive that that value should be that you should buy it for. And this is no different to housing, to cars, to anything and everything you possibly think of from a product or a service could be applied as an NFT. And it's really interesting to consider the application of physical and metaverse related products as well. There are many great protocols out there like Boson, for example, BOSON, which very heavily involve themselves in things like buying things in a metaverse or a digital format and getting a physical result of that, whether it be from a delivery or an actual ownership of an item in the real world, depending on that aspect. But that's the whole kind of like buying behavior that's going to be coming over the next few years and certainly the decades to come from this digital ownership and digital purchasing opportunity for people as consumers or investors in this aspect. So for real estate, this is really interesting. We know about the market size that we have to appease to as time goes by. Even here mentioning buying, selling homes as an NFT, buying, selling homes using crypto, and selling homes via bank transfers. This is all still possible through PROPY, all of these three factors. However, with the fact of blockchain, there are many multiple things that come in now to really affect the speed of everything. So traditionally, here in the UK, depending on the chain, a house could potentially take months and months to go through, usually because of checks and usually because other houses are held up because they're not selling or buying or they've changed their mind, whatever it might be, right? But with blockchain, we have the ability for many things. we also have the ability to have all the construction detail, the materials detail interlaced into blockchain. So there's no fake valuations anymore. I've had valuations where a surveyor comes and gives us one, and then like the next day a real estate agent gives a different one, and then an association or anything like an agency gives a different one. And it's like, well, how is this even fair? Like there's a difference of like 20, 30,000 pounds or dollars or whatever in these different valuations. Which one's going to work best for me? Well, it doesn't really matter because it's all what the bank wants to do, right? So we're going to have some really cool advantages with this kind of thing. And even if you had like an extension, for example, imagine this in the near future. This is very close to happening anyway. If you're going to have an extension, let's say a conservatory, you know what the materials are needed and the valuation is dependent on an algorithm based on like the valuations across the market and everything like this. So people usually do this manually, right? It takes time, or they just pick out a number of thin air, right? Or they just compare it to local houses. But in this instance, you could base it around the materials, the way the world is, the economy is, and blockchain and everything will do it automatically. Similar to the energy sector in terms of carbon credits and carbon standard rates and things like this, applying it based on actual data, not what someone wants it to be. Okay, so you've got these really cool influences of blockchain as well, but the selling and buying mechanism of real estate is really fascinating too. In smart contract terms, and DIDs, digital identities, imagine all our proof of identities are all there, they're all verified, they're all processed, they've been historically imprinted in blockchain permanently forever. And all of these things will enhance the speed of everything. In this instance, majority of the Web3 real estate projects out there right now are being able to buy and sell houses within a couple of days, sometimes even within a day, versus what we currently do in the sense of months and weeks, maybe even sometimes longer than that. This is amazing. This will boost the economy. It will boost people's efficiency and speed of doing things. Yes, of course, like with any of the crypto projects out there, really, there is almost a partial demise to society and employability to an extent, because if you've got something that's automatic there, why do you need estate agents? But what's really good about these kind of projects right now is they're developing some really cool things, like PROPY just announced recently, the courses where real estate agents can jump onto here, learn about the Web3 integration and how they can utilize that or benefit that within their own businesses, or as an individual, to improve their mechanism in this space. But we've also got to understand Meta as well. Not Meta Facebook, I'm talking about Metaverse. This is going back to that topic earlier about buying properties or things in the metaverse and then getting a physical aspect. Imagine you can't go and see the house that you want to buy abroad or further up the country for whatever reason. And this predominantly came a lot really through the pandemic and everything, of virtual tours and things like this. But you put your headset on and you're wandering around a metaverse of the house, all the intricate details and this, that and the other, and all the information that you can see through AR and whatnot, looking at the walls, looking at things like how much was this, what's this door, and then applying things that you might want to buy for it, furniture, etc. So you've got this aspect to it as well, but also digital land in general. This is obviously something that a lot of games get involved in, but land in general in the metaverse has died down a bit in terms of the conversation. It will definitely come back, especially from commercial aspects and business aspects, for sure, for virtual meets and things like this. But the crossovers are significant. The crossovers are really interesting to talk about and get into your minds. And I think this is really, really, really interesting for PROPY and projects like this, for sure. So real estate, as we know, is a big market already. It's going to be a huge one for the years to come. And with this integration of Web3 and blockchain, it's going to be even more significant, in my opinion. Absolutely phenomenal. And even with PROPY, they have bought and sold houses many a time already in this year. There was a really cool article out earlier this year, I believe. The first house, I think it was in Miami or something, or certainly in the US somewhere, which had sold for X amount of Ethereum values worth. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, you can pay with crypto, you can utilize the PROPY token for aspects of it as well, but also that actual NFT aspect. And when we're talking about NFT, this is your deal, if you like, right? This is where you have the proof that you have ownership of this asset, and that is imprinted in blockchain. This is how it works, So as I said, there's a lot of manual aspects to real estate, and there have been for decades and decades. But this can change now, and this is changing. And that's why I'm interested in these kind of areas, these different sectors. I'm heavily involved in the energy sector, in gaming, in artificial intelligence, all these things that I know of or have an interest in or know the capabilities and the prospects of them to come. And it's not just PROPY, of course, there's many other projects. We have a Hedera video coming out later today, which also looks into some of the real estate aspects, especially in various different countries that they're working with on this kind of topic. But this is brilliant. And as I said, this is the course. I mean, there's loads of different courses that you can do, but this is to enhance yourself in real estate through the usage of Web3. And I think this is brilliant. If you're in real estate and you're thinking, oh, wow, this is something that's for the future or very soon, get yourselves involved on this kind of thing, and you can even pay via the PROPY token for the course as well, or directly with fiat, etc. I think it's absolutely phenomenal and very, very interesting. They've got great transactional things here if you are a broker or a real estate user in general. But this isn't a kind of like video to talk about PROPY's interactions, because I've done that already in the intro video. It's more just reminding you guys that this is still here and it's been doing really well. Unfortunately, on TradeView, it doesn't really come up with the chart properly, so I'm going to show you this on CoinMarketCap. You can clearly see there is massive opportunity for this in the upturn in the next bull cycles. Roughly right now, around 40 cents per PROPY token. I'm still waiting just a bit more to be accumulating more of this. I did buy PROPY at various different stages, some of the higher regions, I'll admit, and I have been on a bit of a loss on some of these. But in general, I am looking still for these sort of buy opportunities, potentially around the sort of 20 cents or just above 20 cent mark if the market continues to drive down as it is doing. Who knows what will happen with Bitcoin or any of the other projects in the coming months, especially with the world that we're in right now. But my point being is that if we look at these stages of around 40 cents, and we've already had a previous kind of high areas of around about $4, in fact, even upon launch, which I don't really take too much interest in because that is a kind of like a big launch mechanism. But you can roughly say $4 is a good target price as a minimum in a next bull market run. And this could easily transpire across well over the $10 mark in the next run, perhaps towards 2024, 2025. So it gives you a bit of an indication as to the kind of X that you can get on this, right? But for me, in general aspects, is that if we identify now the sectors that are going to have real significance over these next few years and developments in terms of integration of existing systems into new ones, which is why we always talk about like the finance system with RTGS, we talk about the energy sector with carbon credit trading through Web3 energy platforms and all these things, it's no different to general like jobs or general aspects of life that we kind of don't even anticipate being involved with blockchain. Everything will be on blockchain over the coming years, and real estate is no different to this. So this is where we are with PROPY, and like I said, there's many others, but this one in particular stood out for me. The team's fantastic, it's very well driven, and their dedication and passion is brilliant. And more case studies keep coming out, guys. More and more use case studies, which is more important, that people are actually utilizing this now as a service, but also as a utility for buying and selling their homes, properties, commercial, whatever it might be. It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, in my opinion. And as I said, it's not just PROPY. There are many others. But this one in particular stood out for me for a long time, and it's something that I'm looking forward to seeing developments and growth from as well in the coming years. So just thought I'd bring that video to your attention, guys. It's absolutely brilliant to see the developments as they on go. Do let us know in the comments if you're holding PROPY or if there's any other tokens as well that are related to real estate that I'm perhaps not mentioning. Do let me know and I'll try and add those. But this is brilliant. Go and check them out, and go and check out, more importantly, the concept and the ideology behind real estate in blockchain Web3, because this is absolutely phenomenal market opportunity in my opinion, and phenomenal profit opportunity too. That's what I'm interested in, of course, in the space too, as well as all the other things. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you found this interesting. We'll do a few more catch-up videos with some of the older tokens that we've been holding as well in the coming days. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.